Let's do a little bit of a tech drop. Now, why I want to talk about a tech drop is because everybody is now on and on and on about this iPhone.
Okay, listen, I need
stuff.
you to I want to grab a drink from the fridge.
Okay.
Start it up. I will be back in like 45 seconds.
Okay, you heard the folks. 45 seconds. Let's go.
Now we're gonna get all the Apple slander and how he.
Oh no. There'll be no slander from me. There'll be no slander from me. No.
I will be right back. I just
find it super interesting. And folks in the chat, please communicate. Let me know how you feel about it. Apple announced all this crazy new interesting stuff, right? and Everborn saw it and thought, hey, the first thing he said to me is him and his fam are gonna jump in and get a bunch of them, right? And I'm like, okay, I hear you. And we started talking about the tech, right? And I thought, you know what, it'd be interesting to gauge the our community, right? To gauge our community, what kind of devices, how does that break out on this show anyway? And you know what? I think I'll do that. Let me do that real quick. This will be the show of polls. So let me do another poll real quick and ask: Android versus iPhone. Which one are you? If you're Android, choose Android. If you're iPhone, choose that iPhone. And I want to know how it breaks out in this community, because I'm sure each house has a plus and or a minus. Yeah, you are a wicked stepchild because you're Microsoft on Android, which is absolutely weird, but that's neither here nor there. So let's see, Android, and this is absolutely riveting viewing for our audio listeners, but thank you for bearing with us. So folks, the poll is going to be live in 1 second. I want to know, please pick one, Android or iPhone, because this conversation happens all the time. Myself and Everborn, and you can tell me, Everborn, keep me honest here. We tend to be in vigorous agreement on most of these things, but this time it was very interesting. It came out, everybody's excited about it, and Everborn, you're back now. Tell me your top level thoughts when you first saw all these iPhones and all this. I know you're planning on buying them. Are you excited? What's going down?
Am I excited? No. Am I buying almost everything they announced? Probably. So here's the thing. I have a rule where this is a new rule. I've been doing it for the past, 5 years or something. I will not upgrade my iPhone unless they change the shape. Right?
Unless they give you something more.
Right. And so because they've done that and I always go with the Pro line, because if I'm going to have it for 2 or 3 years, I'll just figure I get the best one, and then that'll be fine until they do their next upgrade. So for me, like I was saying, if they added USB-C, I would upgrade, or they would have to have some kind of shape change. And they did one of the two. So I said, all right, it's time. I will go and do it. I'm running a 12 Pro Max currently. And that's sort of what that's my daily driver. Now I am fully aware that
and you know what? I brought this conversation up thinking, hey, we're gonna have a great conversation between us and the community. I forgot the violence and the slander that is going to ensue already. Listen to this. Doovie already out here. iOS better than Android. Not even close.
I used to be in the people forget that they think this whole platform war thing is just in gaming. It is not.
I think that the handset wars are worse.
There's still salty people using Linux that are mad Windows took over. But anyway, which is coming full circle now. But I say this to say I used to be in those streets. And Mr. Inferno Games, you are goddamn right. Windows Phone is at the
everybody,
top.
Right? So seconded only by what do you call it?
I would actually put the Palm Pre above Windows Phone, but that was a short run.
I still have a Palm Pre as we speak. I have a Palm phone somewhere in literally in early 2000s. Somebody gave it to me for work, a work phone, and I never gave it back. It's still here somewhere. Anyway, but continue, Everborn. So what were you saying? Oh, I think we may have lost him for a moment. Anyway, So,
you didn't lose me. You didn't lose me.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
here.
okay.
No, so here's the thing. I used to be in
Mhm.
those streets. I used to I was there at the beginning of the rise of what we look at today as a smartphone, but like I'm talking about, I was there in the Windows Phone 6.5 days, right?
Yeah. See, and this is why we're all kindred spirits. Pixel Big G says iPac is king. Shout out to Pixel Big G.
Right?
Oh, nobody knows about
The
the
Windows
iPad. What are you
Mobile
talking about?
days,
Indeed, sir.
were a good time. But I say that to say, after Palm Pre died, and then Windows Phone, I had my hopes there, and I still think it was the superior operating system. After that, I literally didn't care anymore, and so I was like, "Listen, I need to go what's the most convenient." And I've never been a fan of Apple. Like, I don't use Macs. I have a Mac Mini M1 right now, but that is literally because they force you to do this. If I want to push a build to test flight, you need a Mac.
I used to push builds with my Hackintosh from Windows, but that's neither here nor there.
But I'm not
Continue, sir.
So anyway, so the point that I'm trying to make is, I have been trying to leave the Apple ecosystem, but the further you get, it's like quicksand, right? So I have the AirPods, and then those AirPods not only work with the phone, but they also work with the Apple TV, which I have an Apple TV in every room. And then they can also work with the watch if I forget to bring my phone, and then the watch won't work with the Android device.
You see?
This is before we get to the
Apple slaves we're talking about here. Apple slaves,
right?
Oh boy.
But here's the thing. I'm not saying that it's better. I'm saying it's a prison.
Okay.
Right? you now you can't leave.
Now you can't leave, indeed.
So these are what you call golden handcuffs, right? But I see what they're doing. I'm not like super excited about it, but at a certain point, it's time to upgrade your phone, and they make it so hard to switch platforms.
Yes, sir.
It's really. And another thing, there's a lot of Apple people that think that texting is better on the iPhone. It's not. Please, Apple is artificially making it worse.
Speak the truth, good sir.
That's not in the ecosystem. And I know that, and I hate that. But getting everyone to switch over, it's not just for me. Like if I want to make the real switch to Android, because I love the Surface Duo. I mean, it has its problems, right? But I think it's great. But I tried this for about a week before my wife and kids shamed me back into going
because of the green bubbles. Because of the green bubbles,
I was ruining group chats left and right, and everybody in my family has an iPhone, so I can't, I can, right? This is first world problems, but I'm just like, I guess I'll get it. But now they changed the shape, and I do want to talk about this dynamic island thing because I do think
let's talk about that real quick. Okay, so there are two ways to view this. There's the cynical view, and then there's the view that it is innovative, and I think both have merit, right? The cynical view being Apple has never been able to crack the nut on in-screen fingerprints. They've never been able to crack that nut.
But they don't need to. They can do it on the power button, like they have on the iPad.
Well, hold on. Let me set the stage, right? They've never been able to crack that nut, right? But whereas Android has been able to do that, and at this point, it is just as good. But Apple has never been able to successfully by itself do that, and instead they went the Face ID Connect route. Let's be real. A quick aside from my gamer people out there. Yes, that is the Connect. Literally, the same team that made the Connect that Microsoft uses were then bought by Apple, and they shrunk down the tech, and that's what you use for your Face ID. So you're using Connect. Thank you for the Connect for continuing your Face ID for every day. That is a bit of a trivia for you. But needless to say, they did that. Now, even in this space, the cynical view in here can be they still, in this instance, they have not figured out how to do behind the glass. What do you call it? Webcam, front-facing cams, which Android has. Now, to be fair, when Android does it, the quality of cam suffers, right? But we know that anytime Apple takes something on, they love to take it on, right? Someone's cracked the nut, but it's never perfect. And then they like put the Apple stank on it, as it were, charge you more. And then look what we discovered. But they haven't been able to do that here. So the cynical view in me says, well, instead of admitting that they haven't really cracked the nut on getting that cylinder sphere to look that ideal way that they've always wanted to, they instead went the other route and added some innovation to the eyesore, which, let's speak on that eyesore for a moment. People call it the pill. It was called it was called so many different things. Now they've removed that small piece at the top. I'm sure some folks have seen some of the updates going on here and there. What do you think, Everborn Saga? Did they crack? Is this worthy, or is this just lipstick on a pig?
I think so. Here's the thing: I don't take a lot of selfies, so I would have rather they just did the other screen thing. But understanding that they can't do that, and people do take selfies. That's like some people's whole career, right? I get it, and I feel like this is probably the best possible implementation of a workaround.
Yep.
Right. Yep. The idea of, because it's an OLED screen and you can get these perfect blacks, and building in basically like merging the hardware with the software. So you have the pill, but now you've changed your notification system and action center items.
And let's be honest, iOS's notification systems have been horrible for a long time. So this might be actually a really good upgrade for that.
Right. But it's not just the notifications. It's like app controls when you're doing something else. So it actually works as a really good multitasking solution to kind of switch back and forth between apps.
Other things,
so I think like this marrying of hardware and software for that, I actually think and I hate to give Apple credit, but I think it's great.
Yeah, right? I think like to me, this is lipstick on a pig, but this is the best lipstick I've ever seen. Well done.
Right, this is
well
Revlon.
Yes, it's still lipstick on a pig. Let's be real, because if you had your way, you wouldn't see any of the tech. It would just be a screen, and that's it. That's what they want. But they can't have that, because every time they try it, it's not perfect. They want it to be perfect security as well as perfect camera.
They will
and you can't have
this as soon as someone on Android figures it out.
Right? I'm not going there for.
No. As soon as Android figures out how to do an under the screen camera without degrading the image quality, then Apple will turn around and pretend like they invented it. Just like they're going to turn around and pretend they invented USB-C. But like, I get it. But I fully understand what I'm getting myself into. But what I am saying, and I don't care what any of you say in the chat, the iPhone is easier to use. I am sorry.
So the iPhone is easier to use than Android?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
I would say,
I will not be taking any questions.
As a person who actively uses Android and iPhone like on a daily basis, like I literally am a dual user driver. This is my Galaxy S21, and here's my iPhone 10. I use them every day because I need one for work and I need one for shout out to Splendiferous. Welcome, sir. I need one for work, and I tend to be an Android user. I will agree with you that out of the box, if you are I'm not saying it in a pejorative fashion. I was going to say if you're know-nothing. If you're not a person who's well versed in technology or speak the language that they're trying to say to you, it is easier to understand iOS than it is
the
Android.
Thing is, because I don't
but that I just said there, that is very, very much a very thin line now. It used to be a huge chasm back in the day when iOS was at its height and Android was still on the come up. The chasm was massive. Now, today, you could give a normal user who's not a power user an Android phone, and because Android has such is so customizable, you can customize it for a normal user, and they'll never have an issue using it. I know so because I've done so for my mother. Right.
And listen, this is the barometer, right? Can you give because you don't want to be the tech support person for everybody. That's right. You recommend a phone
because if you give it to if you give the wrong device, you're going to hear back from them. all the time. So that's how I know it's good enough, because before Android was not good enough for mom. Now Android is good enough for mom. Mom could just use it. It's no big deal.
So my thing is, because I don't really have a horse in the race, I don't want I want something that is for dummies. This is not a complication in life that I want to think about.
Sure.
So this is the most generic, high performing device I could get. Then that's what I'm going to get. And then I don't think about it for so 2
long
or 3
story
years.
short, you buying these?
Oh, I'm buying 2 of them. One for me, one for the missus. My AirPods have been struggling to keep a charge, but they're like 2.5 years old because I got them when they first came out. So I'm going to get the new AirPods.
Okay.
And then the missus just bought a gold watch band, but her watch is silver, so she's like, I need a new watch. And I'm like, well, if you get the new watch, I'm getting a new watch.
I want to buy a Model X Tesla tires, and then hopefully the car will show up after that. You know what I'm saying?
So,
that's awesome.
But no, here's the problem with this. The gold watch only comes in stainless steel, and the stainless steel watches are $6.99.
Oh boy, yes, fantastic. Yeah, we won't get into that because we have a lot more to talk about.
If I'm doing all that, I'm like, look, you know what? I might as well get that that Apple Watch Ultra because it has 3 days of battery life.
I'll be honest with you. Now, like I said, I am one who lives in both camps. I'm an Apple Watch user. I have found that maybe, possibly, I might be able to get my work to pay for the Pro Max. If I can get the work to pay for the Pro Max, Ultra on deck. I'm just doing it. I'm just going to do it. Needless to say, let us button this up by saying, yeah, I'm reluctantly, I will most likely buy one of these things because I am a reluctant user of 2 ecosystems, and I'm sick and tired of carrying around 2 phones all the time. And work requires iOS.
So they got you. And this is what I'm talking about.
I don't like it, but yeah.
This is what Ubiquity does. And we both keep saying we don't like it so that we don't seem like Apple lemmings. But at the end of the day, they still got our money.
No. Well, they ain't got my money because I'm going to make sure work pays for that phone. Okay, I'm not paying for that. See, this is my Galaxy Ultra 21. I'd be happy, but my phone got cracked for some reason. Yes, there's a hole right there. It got cracked. And because of that, I can no longer take photos. So I need to replace my phone. And that's what brings up the whole question of, hey, am I doing this again? But needless to say,
I would be
folks
just as
in the
passionate
chat
as all of you if Microsoft put out a phone that had Windows.
Man,
on.
If only they did the proper.
Like, imagine if this was a Windows device, like a dual screen Windows device.
And by the way, I did see what you sent me, good sir, where somebody has gotten Windows 11 to run on it pretty well. I was pretty interested. I was like, yo, that might get me to buy one.
No, I need Microsoft to put it out because I don't want to deal with any
you don't want any BS.
Quirks,
yeah, you don't want any BS.
Like, I want a phone dialer on it, and then just give me stock Windows on ARM.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on from this tech drop conversation. But again, just a test we're trying out, just an experiment. We like talking tech. Myself and Everborn, we do it all the time on the phone. We figured, hey, why not throw some tech in the show? Maybe have a little segment for it, break it out later. We'll do that. And on that topic, and we will get back to the main story at hand because we still have some time.